is 11 o'clock, so we are going to get started. I'm Beth Yarzab. I'm from the certification team at CanFitPro. We are just delighted to have Nathalie Plamondon-Thomas here. She is a international #1 best-selling author and great friend to CanFitPro. Just a couple housekeeping items. If you can go up to your Zoom settings at the top right of your screen and go ahead and click on speaker view so that you can get the full image of Nathalie's slides as she's speaking to us this morning. She also has time set aside at the end to answer any questions you might have. So please go ahead and write those in the chat. We can share those at the end. And this is being recorded. There is going to be a CEC quiz available for Nathalie's content as well through canfitpro.com when you log in with your member portal. So we'll have more information to share about that. And from there, I'm gonna pass it over to Nathalie.
All right, thank you so much, Beth. Thank you so much, everybody at CanFitPro. This is an awesome opportunity. I feel that being able to give my time, I happen to have transitioned my business about 3 years ago to more online things and really setting up a solid foundation for my business. So I'm so happy to be sharing with everybody. Now, I do understand that some of you have no idea who I am. I am not Michelle Obama. I totally get it. So I'm going to share a video with you just to introduce myself so that maybe you could learn a little bit more about me instead of me trying to tell you more about me. So let's just watch this video together.
It is fascinating how we know exactly what to do, and yet sometimes we do the reverse. We let our negative self-talk rule our life and get stuck in our own limiting beliefs. Nathalie P. is the expert with a proven system to reprogram your brain and get you transformational results. Nathalie P., the founder and CEO of Think Yourself Academy, offering leading-edge courses, online training, and events. She is a co-founder of TYA Education, transforming children's inner language to build self-esteem and perseverance. She combines over 10 years of experience in human resources, 25 years of experience in sales, and over 30 years of experience in the fitness industry. In 2007, she was Fitness Instructor of the Year for Canada. She is a dynamic, engaging, and professional speaker, offering conferences, trainings, and keynotes which get you hooked with relatable stories and analogies. Who wants to use the ring to make money? Along the past 30 years, she has inspired over 100,000 audience members and empowered thousands of clients internationally. She is on the board of directors of CAPS, the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. Nathalie P. is a master of neuroscience. She uses specific brain reprogramming processes in her practice as a master life coach and executive coach. She has helped thousands of people in Canada, Europe, the United States, and third world countries to get rid of their negative self-talk and to live to their full potential. She is a #1 international best-selling author of 11 books on wellness and empowerment, including 8 international #1 bestsellers. She is also CEO of Think Yourself Publishing, helping entrepreneurs position themselves as experts with a published book. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Somehow, Nathalie can.
All right, let me take you back over 12 years ago. So I was just starting to speak professionally and I needed the video done. So we had 3 cameras. So one for the close-up, one for the wide angle from the back, and one behind me to see the large audience. Now the problem is there were only 20 people in the room. So we kept asking people to move from one section to another so that when we put all the segments all back together, it would look like there was a large audience. God, gosh. I remember my first paid speaking engagement. I got a call out of the blue from an organization who wanted me to train their sales force. They asked for my rate. I didn't have a corporate rate, so I go, 250. So they said, okay, so that means for 4 hours, that would be 1,000. I meant 250 for the whole thing, right? So I go, oh yes, that's correct. So we booked a date and I got the contract. Oh, I got the contract. The truth is, I remember sitting in my office that day, feeling like a fraud. See, I was hearing that voice in my head telling me, you're not a real professional speaker. You don't deserve $1,000 paycheck for an afternoon. See, the video I had made to make the audience look bigger than it was, my made up corporate rate, none of it was real. I was just trying to look more than I really was because somehow I felt like just me was not enough. See, back at that time, I was still working full-time for an oil company and I was teaching 16 fitness classes a week. And would I have liked to live from fitness and live from my passion and do nutrition consultation and just do what I love? Oh no, I needed to keep my full-time job. Do you know why? Because I was listening to the voice inside my head. And you know what that voice was saying? One of the most common limiting beliefs of the fitness industry. You know what that is? We don't make money in the fitness industry. Anybody's heard that before? So somehow I felt like I needed to figure out a way to shut down this voice inside my head and figure out a way to transform my inner self-talk and start to talk to myself differently. And that's when I realized I need to figure out a way to make money. I need to figure out a way to live from my passion. Why don't we trust ourselves? Why don't we trust ourselves to live from our passion? And if you're an entrepreneur, you may relate to this. Hey, I can make it. So I spent the last decade studying neuroscience, and I've created a system to reprogram our brain to be successful. And that's the system I shared in my 8 international #1 best-selling books. And today I will share with you one of my workshop, if you'd like. It's called Think Yourself a Business Pro. So the title of this webinar is Transform Social Media Fans into Paying Clients, because I realized that I had a lot of followers on my social media, and some of my videos have like 4,500 views, and I'm super proud of that, but that's not money in my bank account. Like, even if I have so many likes on my posts, it doesn't mean that that doesn't pay for my bills. So I needed to figure out a way to bring these people into doing a transaction with me. So in the Think Yourself a Business Pro, I'm sharing 10 steps to a successful business. Today, it's a short webinar, so we're not doing 10 steps today. I'm going to share with you today the two main steps, let's say. I chose these 2 because I feel like those are the 2 that will give you the most value for today. Okay, so I want to make sure that you get value. So the very first step, if we start right away, is having home base. So the home base is important because if you post on social media, like just this week, last week, a lot of people started posting videos on social media. And even my first fitness video, I've posted last week just for, oh my gosh, we're all stuck at home. Let me help. I'll pitch in. And then, because I still teach fitness classes, so let me post a video for my people to go watch. Well, I've got thousands of views on that video, but hey, doesn't do anything for me because I was not redirecting them to my home base. And then later today, I will show you how exactly I did this so that it brings people back to me, because these 4,500 people that are watching my videos, I have no idea who they are. I don't know how to contact them. I don't know how to send them an email and how to enter them into my funnel. So that's what we will be learning today. So first thing is a home base. So when you post on social media, you always want to have the intention of bringing them back somewhere where there can be a transaction made. So wherever it is that you can actually do ching and make them cash out, that's your home base, because you don't own Instagram, you don't own Facebook, you don't own LinkedIn, you don't own the social media. You own your website, you own your own home. So you don't want to pay rent anywhere. You want to have your own home, and ideally you want to be mortgage free. So you want to always bring people back to your home. So every time that you post, try to bring them back to where you live. Try to bring them back to your home base. So I will introduce you the concept of funnel marketing. So in funnel marketing, that means that you are first using social media to grab their attention. So one thing that you may relate to is dating. So if you're in a relationship right now, you went through this funnel. So you noticed somebody, they didn't know you even existed, but you noticed them and you're like, oh my gosh, this person is interesting. So the first step is to grab their attention. So they need to notice you. So first they need to be interested in, not even interested in you, they just need to know that you exist. So attention is the very first one. Then it goes into interest. So if they're interested in you, so once you've grabbed their attention, then they'll be like, okay, this person exists, first step. Then, oh, I might be interested in that person. And once they're interested in you, and I'll teach you how in a second, how do you get them to desire what you have? And then go into action and then into checking on, doing a money exchange at the end. So keeping the analogy of dating, I receive, especially right now, so many marriage proposals. So first time that people ever met me, and then they drop on their knees and then they offer me a ring. This is all about the metaphor of dating, right? So when you meet somebody for the very first time, you've never met them, they have no idea who you are, you don't run in a coffee shop to somebody, drop on your knee and give them a ring. This is not how it works. And people do that right now. Especially right now for me, it's happening on LinkedIn. So I receive a connection request from somebody, and right in that connection request, somebody is telling me, oh, hi, Nathalie, I would love to connect with you because I have $1,000 product that I'm offering and I think would be great for you. They want me, I have no idea who they are, and they want me to give them $1,000 right now. They want me to sign a marriage proposal with them right away. And that's what we want to avoid. So that's what social medias are there for. So social media is for grabbing their attention so that people will scroll, and then say, oh, wait, who's this? What's this? And then you grab their attention. So once you've posted some stuff with no strings attached, with no marriage proposal, you're not asking them, you're not selling them anything, you're posting a free video, you're doing whatever to grab attention. Once you've had their attention, then you need to pique their interest and say, hey, I've got something maybe for you that you might be interested in. It's free. So go on my website and download this PDF, and that's for free. These are the 3 common mistakes that women do after they had kids, and when they want to get back in shape, these are the 3 common mistakes that they do, or whomever is your target. And I talk about this in Think Yourself a Business Pro, and how to really create your niche. So if your niche is women after they had kids, then you have a interesting PDF to download on your website, and then you direct them to your home base, and they are interested in getting this free thing. once they've received this free thing, and I will show you how I work with my legacy follow-up series after that, how to make them desire to make a transaction with you. Because so far, you grab their attention, you develop their interest into spending money with you, but they haven't spent a dime yet. Then you will create that desire, not with $1,000 product and sell them a full 25 sessions coaching package with you. First, you will need to sell them a small something, just a small little thing that they might like. And eventually you'll be able to move them into action. So the attention can be as simple as going to like their stuff. Did you ever notice that you're a lot more interested in people that are interested in you? So here's the way that you want to grab their attention on social media. So one of the questions that I have today is somebody is asking me, I don't have a lot of followers on my personal page. I don't have a lot of followers on my professional page. Which one should I start with? So my answer is you should really focus on creating more followers on your business page, because on business you can do a lot more. You can have the stats, you can do boosting, you can have a lot more information afterwards. So this is what you want to focus on. And how do you do that is, how do I get more followers? It was the second questions of this person. Is what you do is you go look at other people's stuff, and then you go connect with people and you comment on their stuff. And then you tell them that you like their stuff. And then you engage with them and say, hey, I've noticed that you do this. I've noticed that, well done. So when somebody connects with me on LinkedIn and asks me, hey, I've noticed your post, well done, way to go. And I'm like, who's this person? Who's that? Oh, cool. And then I see their name again. Oh, who's this? Okay. And then eventually they'll say, hey, I've noticed that you've been posting for a while, and I remember their name. I know who they are because they've been dropping me emails once in a while. They've signed up to my newsletter. They comment on my stuff. Then I might be interested in seeing what do they have. Then I might even go on their profile and see if I want to like their page, and I might like it. I might sign up to their newsletter, and then it will start because they were first interested in me. So in order to get followers, you need to be interested in other people. Okay, so grab their attention, post stuff, and then they will be interested in you. You will redirect them to your home base, and from there you will create a desire for them to work with you. So the 4 steps of funnel marketing are attention, interest, desire, and action. The reason why I'm repeating all this is that you have a quiz at the end. So I want to make sure that you get all the answers to the quiz. So I'm making sure that I'm specifically saying what's in the quiz. So what you should be using social media for is 1, get noticed, right? Offer content, free content to get potential clients' attention, and engage with potential clients and redirect them to your home base eventually. So this is what you use social media for. Now, a lot of people are asking me, yeah, but Nathalie, I see that you're posting some products for sale also on your social media. And sometimes it is a sales pitch that you're doing on social media. True. And these sales pitch are directed to people who have been following me for a while, and now they are at the desire state. And I know that their next step is action. So yes, but I'm not expecting for people to notice me on the very first time and for me to drop down and propose with my ring. So when I propose with a ring on social media, I'm addressing people that have been following me for a while, and it's not the way that I get the most people. It's very rare that I convert from one post on Facebook. It usually gets into my funnel. Okay, so let me go to the second tip that I have for you today. Is how do we create a following? So the very number 1 best way for me to draw to get a following is to speak. speaking meaning either in person or either on video. Okay, so a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like videos. I get freaked out. Well, get over it. I'm sorry, you have to do videos. Very soon, only like 70% of social media will strictly be on videos. So practice, get over it. Start with pre-recording them and then eventually do live. So what I was doing is I was constantly pre-recording myself, and I would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 different takes in order for me to be satisfied with the video. I was never happy with it. And as soon as I would say something silly, I'd be like, oh, stop it, scratch that, start over, you know, strike 10. But one day I thought, I need to stop that. And I've done so many mistakes. Oh my gosh. I thought I need to do 1 take. I need to practice for Facebook Live. So I thought 1 take. And if I say something stupid, I need to learn how to take my own foot out of my mouth. I need to be able to just catch myself and redo what I had said and figure things out. So I decided that I needed to record my video in 1 take. And then once I got used to this, that's when I started to do live and got comfortable with it. So most of you, if you are fitness professionals, speakers, entrepreneurs, you are used to talk in front of people. And usually if you are selling any type of service, if you are an entrepreneur, you're good at talking about what you know. That's what you know. You're really good at that. So it's easy for you to talk about your stuff, and always remember that you know your stuff. So when I say speak, so let's talk about, we just talked about the online part. So record videos and put yourself out there. Have a video blog on a regular basis that you'll send. And I will talk a little bit more about specifically how I do my series. You can also speak in public. Like right now, we are living in an uncertain times, and hopefully it goes back to we're allowed to see people and face to face, but there are lots of ways that you can speak. So you could create a small little 15-minute webinar on the 3 common mistakes that people do when they start exercising, or the 3 common mistakes that people, the 3 top best ways to get the most of a 20-minute workout, or put out some free workouts and quick 20 minutes workshop, free workouts here, free workouts there. You could contact your look in your neighborhood, in your hometown. Is there a library that offers free webinars? The Chamber of Commerce, and go talk about the top 3 ways entrepreneurs can be healthy. Find all the associations, because all these associations, they usually have a meeting every month, and they need a speaker to come and talk to them about a topic. So find, if it's the Association of Real Estate Agents, and that's in your neighborhood, then figure out a way that real estate agent, if they don't have a lot of time, 3 exercises that they can do when they are showing a home, and whatever it is, and then go give this talk. And what you would do is you would have a draw. Everywhere that I went to speak, I was having a draw. So I offered myself to speak for free, because at the beginning, nobody was paying me to speak. Okay, this is a secret, and I'll tell you, I even paid to be on a stage once. I wanted to speak at the women's show because it was a huge crowd, and I thought that these women would be my perfect target. So I paid them to be on the stage. Not only they didn't pay me to speak, I paid. It was $250 at the time, plus my flight and my hotel room, because I wanted to speak at the Calgary Women's Show, and I lived in White Rock in BC. And I paid my flight, my hotel, carrying my stuff there. And what I did is I negotiated. I said, the thing is, I'll pay you. However, I want to be right after the Fireman fashion show. because after the Fireman Fashion Show at the Women's Show, there's 300 women that are right by the stage, and it's the perfect time, at the peak audience time to do my speech. And I asked them, can I have a table right beside the stage that I could sell my products after, and sell some books and sell some coaching? So you will learn after how that day I cashed out, okay? And why was I even interested in speaking for free? So you want to make sure that you have a draw so that people will give you their information, because once you have their information and you need to ask permission, and as you will see on my coupon here, I ask for their name, email, phone numbers. Why do I ask for the phone number? Really important. It's because people don't write very well, especially if it's not a typed thing. If they are writing their name on a coupon, it's really hard to read very often. So that's why I asked for their phone number so I can call them. Now I do have, and I'm teaching this in Think Yourself a Tech Pro. One of my other online courses is how to use QR codes and quiz. So that's how I do it now, is people get into my session when I speak, either at CanfitPro or at any convention. Everybody pulls their phone up and scan my QR code. They enter their name and username. They fill out a little quiz, which is usually very interactive and fun. And then that gives me their name and email address, which they can unsubscribe at any time. So you always have to disclose that they will be able to unsubscribe at any time. Now, that's how I ask for the phone number. So the first thing on my coupon is, see all the boxes that they have to tick behind me. So the first one is, I want to be entered for the draw to win a book. So first thing is, I'm offering something to draw. You don't have to have written a book in order to have a draw. You can draw for a free personal training session with you. You could draw for, and honestly, I used to draw for an $800 contract, because if you want to work with me, it's about $800 for a package. And I used to draw for a $800 package with me, until I realized it doesn't change my numbers. People don't fill out the coupon more or less if it's a $20 prize or if it's a $800 prize. So I just realized that, hey, if I draw for a book, it's perfectly fine. People will want to win a book. If you don't have a small thing to offer, go buy some Starbucks cards and say, hey, I have a draw here for a Starbucks cards, or ask for sponsors. I do have a lot of sponsors that give me stuff that I draw. There's a lot of things that you can do. I have these cute little keychain with Think Yourself Academy. I have lots of things that you could use for a draw. So the first thing is, I ask people their name, and they could check just that box. The next one is, I want to be entered for Nathalie's newsletter. So then I'm asking them permission if they want to receive my motivational newsletter, and then they tick the box. The next one is, I would like to sign up for a free 15-minute call, I call it a virtual coffee, because I always like to see and have more time with people in the audience. So I offer a free 15-minute call, and then they check the box. So then I know that I can contact them after and say, hey, here's the link to my schedule, and here's how you book your free 15-minute call. And then the last box is just for fun. That is my tagline, you are awesome. So I want them to check the box and say, yeah, you're darn right, I'm awesome. So this is more like a fun thing. So once I've got my draw and I have these coupons, then I go home, and it can be all done digitally now. That's how I do it. You have to know your numbers, okay? So out of these people, and I've been tracking for 12 years, and this is the average of my numbers, 92% of people will fill out the coupon. This is cool. Do I go home, and if there's 100 people in the room, there's 8 people that did not even bother giving me their coupon back? It's fine. Do I cry because 8 people didn't even want to win my book? No, these are my numbers. They are my stats. I know my stats, and they have changed tremendously over the years. And I'm very, very proud of my numbers now because they kept going up and up and up as I was building my business. Okay. So 92% of people do fill out the coupon and want to win what I have to draw. 76% of people want to sign up for my newsletter. So do I go home and cry because 24 people will not want to be on my newsletter? No, those are my numbers. I'm very proud of my numbers. So 76 people in that room will want to sign up for my newsletter. I'm super happy with that. 42% of people will say, yes, I want to book a free 15-minute call with Nathalie. Now, out of these 42 people, because there's still 100 people in the room, out of these 24 people, I've been tracking, and I send everybody an email to these 42 people, and I say, here's the link to book the 15-minute call for free with me. Only 20 of them will actually book the call because people are busy. They said that they wanted to, and I'll never hear back from them. So I do send them a reminder, hey, it's still time to book your free virtual coffee with me. And a lot of people, I never see them again. Do I cry about that? No, those are your numbers. Track your numbers, know your numbers. So track every single time. How many people were there? How many people did you send? So you want to be equipped with technology in order to do that. Or just have an Excel spreadsheet or manually just track your numbers. And I found out that my average is 20 people. So half of the people that said they wanted a free virtual coffee with me will not have one. And that's fine. I have better things to do anyway. Like, it's fine. This is my free time. And out of these 20 people that I will have a virtual coffee with, 6 of them will sign a package with me. As I mentioned before, you want to work with me one-on-one and get specific to what it is that you need, then it's minimum $800. So that's my 4-session package. My rate is $250 an hour. And I do have this package for 4 sessions for $800. 6 people will sign a package out of these 20. So I've given 20 free virtual coffee, and my free 15-minute call is usually 30 minutes because I go over and above and I make sure that people get value. There's a lot that can go on in 15 minutes. And people get lots of value. And then I never hear from 14 of them. 14 of them, I'll never hear back from them. Because maybe that took them from attention to interest when we did this call. They'll stay in my funnel, and eventually, maybe a year later, they'll go into the desire, and maybe another year later, it will be time for them to do a transaction. So my number is 6%. So let's get back to the woman show in Calgary. I paid for my flight, for my hotel and everything. And I knew that 300 people will be in the room. So you do the math. 300 people, right, are coming to my session. 6% of these people, of 300, is 18 people. 18 people times $800 for a package is $14,400. Did I speak for free? No, I didn't speak for free. So calculate and know your numbers. The more you track your numbers, that's the very best way if you want to evaluate if a marketing effort or a speaking engagement is worthwhile prior to investing, or if you want to evaluate if it has paid off afterward, you need to track your numbers. So make sure that you do that. Now, once you are invited to talk to people, let's say that there's a group of 20 people that wants you to go and do a little talk for free, then know your numbers. And those numbers will be very different if it's in person or if it's online. So with a business page on social media, you can track your number very easily. So I'm a nerd, and that's why I'm saying you want to make sure that you track these numbers. So here's my legacy follow-up series. I call this a legacy follow-up series. So that's a series of emails that I would send to people once they have given me their email address. Okay, so Now, the very first thing you do is to send them free content. So the very, very first thing you do is free. So you are sending them free content. So in my case, I send them a newsletter every Sunday, and be consistent with it. So be consistent with how you send content. It's interesting because my newsletter is on Sunday morning at 5 a.m. BC Pacific time and 8 a.m. Eastern time. And 1 week I planned it ahead. I programmed it to be sent, and I put 5 p.m. instead. And around 6 a.m. instead of 5 a.m., a lot of people were emailing me, where's my newsletter? That's what I do on Sunday morning with my coffee. How come I don't have my newsletter? So people get used to it. So you got to be consistent with your materials. I send free content, continue to post free content on social media, and there are lots of ways that you can repurpose your content. I do talk a lot about this. It's one of the full tips, actually, how I described in Think Yourself a Business Pro, and how to create content and repurpose it in many different ways. So make sure that you post free content. But before having done that, you need to have taken them from the social media by offering them to go to your home base and then to leave their email behind. And usually it will be by a free PDF download that needs to be consumable within 10 minutes. So one small thing, I used to give a free ebook. It's too long. So I figured out it doesn't really work. People are not reading the whole book right away. So you need to give them something short and sweet for them to say, ooh, I like this. I like this person. It creates attention and brings their interest into your website to download the thing that you have. And once they've have their attention, they don't lose the thing, they say, oh, that's interesting. So you have to pique their interest and then say, wow, I like this person. I'm going to continue to download their stuff. I like it. They're not ready to buy anything from you yet. So you'll have to continue to send consistent free product and free content. Then you can offer them a small little thing. My offer is a $1 offer, just so that there's a transaction happening together. Then I have a $29 offer. It can be a short online course, a smaller thing. Some people are ready for a $49 offer. I used to host live events. So I would invite people to join one of our live events. So I have a team of presenters as well. So we have the Think Yourself Academy would present in Toronto. You probably have heard of Mo Hagan. So Mo is a partner at the Think Yourself Academy. We have written 2 books together, Think Yourself Successful and Think Yourself a Relationship Pros, created some online courses together as well. And this also expand your reach. So this is one of the tips, is surrounding yourself with collaborators and making sure that you have a team so that you don't do everything yourself. Now I don't want to spread too much because I want to have lots of time for questions today, because you guys sent me so many questions. But if the thing is, once people are in your funnel and you give them free content, they realize, oh my gosh, this is cool. Because I do a lot of business mentorship. My focus is self-sabotage. I've studied neuroscience and I help people get unstuck, right? And yet I'm good at making money. So after a while, people were asking me, yeah, I know that you want to work my mindset and you want me to stop the negative self-talk, but what I want to know is how do you make money? Like, how do you work your business? So that's when I started to do business mentorship, and people realized that they would take my coaching package, the business mentorship package, and pay me $250 an hour. And during their session, they would ask me to do, how do you do a text replacement? What box do you need to tick on Zoom when you want to mute your people's microphone? And I was thinking, this is ridiculous. You're paying me way too much money for me to be doing this. But people don't like to waste time. So instead of doing that, I thought, why don't I record a series Think yourself a tech pro, think yourself a business pro with all the basic things. They can do that for a lot cheaper, a lot less money than paying me one-on-one. Once they've done that, then we can get together. Then they can get the $800 package and ask me the questions that they have one-on-one, and I'll meet them where they at, exactly what they need. I have a big testimonial that I received just last night that totally made my day. She said, oh my gosh, I have made so much money with you, and especially right now in these days, the time that we have worked together was such the best investment, because right now I wouldn't be making any money if it wasn't from you, because everybody's at home and you taught me how to leverage my stuff, how to use a green screen, how to use the lighting, and how to be able to have products in order to continue to make money. So I'm so thankful. So I'm building people up to a bigger package. So this is my legacy follow-up series. You want to make sure that people start liking you slowly before you can offer them the ring. Okay. Now, I have a few gifts for you before we get into the questions. I want to make sure I have time to tell you. I am giving everybody the full implementation guide, not just for the first 2 tips. You get the 10 tips to work you through all the steps of the Think Yourself a Business Pro. So you get the 10 tips in that implementation guide. So if you go to thinkyourself.com/canfitpro, you can just enter your email there. Yes, you will be added to my newsletter. You can unsubscribe anytime and download this implementation guide. You have all 10 steps of the course, Think Yourself a Business Pro. Right now, in partnership with CanFitPro, we decided to give you a huge 75% discount. This is unseen. We call it maybe I should name it? I think it's a disease that we shouldn't name, but we call it the COVID special. It's just for right now until the end of April. Okay. So it's 75% off. Do not expect to get these deals ever again. Okay, so it's 75% off right now. If you want the full course, Think Yourself a Business Pro, it's $74 instead of $297. Okay, I also offer Think Yourself a Business Pros, Think Yourself a Tech Pro. There's 2 of them. There's the basics, and then there's part 1. So the basics is really, some people are emailing me and saying, I don't even know how to record a video. I'm starting from scratch. How do you use these background behind you? How do you use a green screen? What kind of light? What kind of microphone? So this is the basics, and instead of $97, it's $24 right now. Again, I've put the code there, and that's what you enter at checkout. So when you look on the website and you click to purchase, you will see $97. You have to enter the code at checkout. All these courses, by the way, will give you CECs. So at thinkyourself.com/canfitpro, you look in the description and you will see how many CanFitPro CECs you will get once you've completed the course and done the quiz. I also have a coaching certification. Some people want to become a coach. So if you want to become certified from the Think Yourself Academy to do what I do and coach people, this one is 50% off. I've never had this low price before. Instead of $997 is $499. So grab it while it's while it lasts. And then all my other courses are all 75%. Think Yourself Successful, Think Yourself a Relationship Pro, Think Yourself Healthy, En Santé par la Pensée, en français. C'est mon premier cours en français. And also the Think Yourself a Coach will have French subtitle. Alors, il va avoir les sous-titres. Alors, les vidéos ne sont pas en français, les vidéos sont en anglais, mais j'ai fait mettre les sous-titres en français. Alors, si vous voulez faire la certification de coaching, puis vous ne parlez pas un super bon anglais, ça va être disponible avec tous les formulaires vont être en français aussi. Okay, so all the forms are in French and the subtitles. And all the other courses you can find at thinkyourself.com/canfitpro. And before I go to the Q&A, I just want to tell you one more little story. I do some work in Haiti. I don't have to tell you that Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world. And one day we were bringing food to a village up in the mountain and we got stuck. And slowly all the members of the village started to come to help us. And eventually there was so many people that we could have just lifted the truck and put it aside, right? But it was hilarious because there were people pushing from the front while some people were pushing from the back. So everybody was pushing and then some people were trying to shake it. And like everybody was taking rocks and putting rocks in front of the wheel, right? And some of them were putting rocks behind the wheels. Some people, like, it was completely nuts. And I thought, what is going on here? Like, what's with this whole thing? Why can't we just get organized? Well, sometimes we work hard. And I don't know if you know what that is, but I remember you get up in the morning at 5 a.m. and then you accept clients from 5 a.m. till 9 p.m. And then you have to create your client's workout. And still you have to take your kids to school between your fitness classes. And then you have to take them to sports. And then you have to post on social media and you have to finish this online course. And you still have your full-time job too. And then you have no work balance. And the more harder you work, the more exhausted you feel. You still live paycheck to paycheck and you feel that you're going further and further away from your dream, but you're working hard. And these people were working hard at trying to get this truck unstuck until Albert, the leader of our group, comes out of the truck and say, hey, you over there, you over there, you put the rocks there, you put the rocks there. And somehow in 5 minutes, the truck was out. And we had been pushing all directions for an hour and nothing was happening. It took one person to know actually where to push and to organize people. And this is what you do when you work smarter, because there's a limiting belief that when you're an entrepreneur, you need to work harder. You just need to work smarter. So if you know where to push, it goes so much better. So let's get into the Q&A. So I have lots of questions that I've taken in notes. One of them was, we have been posting a lot of workouts for free on social media. How do I monetize that? So I will show you how I monetize my free workouts that I've posted on social media. My first one, I just dumbly posted it directly on Facebook. So I was renting space on Facebook instead of putting it on my own website, okay? A whole bunch of people went to watch it, but then I had no control over that. So I'm going to share with you two different screens. So the first one is I'll show you what it looks like once it's been unlocked, okay? So once people look at my videos, you will see, if you go to thinkyourself.com/online-fitness, you see that I've posted 2 strong videos, and you'll see that, oops, somehow, are you looking for something to read? There's an ad there. It's called a post adverts. So you can put advertising on your own website, right? Zumba adult class that I've posted. Online video, Think Yourself Healthy. I just happened to post it there. So as people go and do my free videos, they might click on the banner and go, hey, I have time, I'm at home right now. And this helps convert, okay? Most people will just do the videos first before they click. Kids classes, so I've recorded a Zumba for kids to do, and I'm advertising my kids program, Think Yourself Positive, The Adventures of Captain Vix, which I'm selling for $29 right now during COVID. And I have one with instructions in French. And again, I'm advertising my Positif par la pensée, Les Aventures de Capitaine Vic. So this is when it's unlocked. But when people show up on my website, I will show you what it looks like. It doesn't look quite like that. It looks like this. Ta-da! So when people arrive on my website for the very first time, it looks like this. Click here to watch the video. The video is locked. And when you click on it, it will ask you for your name and your email. so that one, it protects me from the weirdos who have no intention of working out, and then you know what I mean, that people that just want to watch the videos. So then this extra step of having to enter their name and email, it discourages the weird people from and then they go on to something else. So that's one thing. And second, it allows me to know exactly how many people and not how many times it's been viewed. I can also check that, but I can see how many people, and I have their name and email. And after that, I will be able to send them emails, because eventually, one of the questions of somebody was, what if I want to get them to pay eventually? How do I do that? How do I capture their name? So that's how I do it. So I have a form on all my videos so that people have to enter the name. It's so free, but they have to enter their name and email. Another question that I have was, these are all questions about Zoom. We will be doing a webinar next week called Think Yourself a Tech Pro. So it's going to be specifically on technology, same time next Thursday, okay? So remember, write that date on your calendar. I will talk quickly about Zoom. Somebody said, oh, the image cuts every time somebody talks. I've done an online class on Zoom, and every time somebody talks, their image comes up. How do I do that? So first you have to mute all your participants. If you mute them all, their image is not going to come up. And she said, how do I see my participant? Because all I can see is myself. There's at the top right, there's speaker view or gallery view. You want to be in gallery view if you want to be able to see them all, because she said, I would like to be able to correct them. Another question on Zoom is, how do I obtain the list of the participants that have watched my video? You can do it on your website like I showed you, or when it's on Zoom and you have a pro account, you make them to sign up. As opposed to just give them a link, you create a meeting in advance and you make them sign up for the meeting before the meeting, and then the system will send them a reminder. Remember, you have a meeting, it starts in 5 minutes, here's the link. So at that time, you will have the name and email of people that have signed up in advance. Do participants have to download the Zoom software or not? They don't necessarily have to download the software on their computer. They can go on zoom.us and watch from there. But however, it's so easy and it takes a second that I would just tell them, hey, go in 5 minutes in advance, or go on your phone and download the Zoom app on your phone. It's super easy. I would recommend that they do that. Do people have to pay in order to use Zoom? No, the app is free, and then you can have a Zoom free account. What it does is it allows you to have a meeting for up to 40 minutes with a whole bunch of number of people. With the free account, you can also have a one-on-one meeting with somebody for as many hours as you want. There's no limit on one-on-one. If you have more than 2 people, and you have a class with you or a small group training, then you need to stop after 40 minutes and we'll cut. And then they all need to re-sign in if it's not over. So with the paid Zoom, you don't have to cut after 40 minutes, you have a longer time. Should I focus on my personal page or my business page? I did answer that. What would you recommend to trainers who have very little experience with developing social media content or experience on how to even get started? I think I did mention a lot of things, how to post, and in tip number 3, I do talk a lot about, or tip number 4, and Think Yourself a Business Pro, I do talk a lot about content and how to find ideas on how to, what to post about. However, if you are in the fitness industry, more likely you, or if you're an entrepreneur, you know something. What are the things that you know? Take a second and sit down and say, what am I good at? If somebody wanted to ask me a tip about what I do, what would be my top 3 tips? And then you start writing about that. Another question is, which social media platform do you feel is the most effective, or do you think is absolutely necessary to cross-platform? So do you have to choose one or cross-platform, and which one is best? I find that I get a lot of success with Facebook and LinkedIn myself. So all my corporate is mainly on LinkedIn, all my speaking engagements. I do have a new speakers bureau in San Diego now. Everything is happening. They book me through their own speakers bureau, and I get information on LinkedIn with a lot of contacts and prospects. I find for Facebook also, I have 5,000 personal friends, and maybe I don't have that many people on my, I think maybe 1,500 on my Facebook business page. And again, for me, it's never been about the number of followers. It's always about the numbers that convert. If my percentage work, then of course, if you have 30,000 like on your business page, you convert a lot more, which is great. However, I know that a lot of ways to get more followers is to advertise in different countries and have all these followers from the Philippines and from Mexico and from, there are chances that they will not convert anyway. So I prefer good followers that are actually interested rather than buying lists and buying likes. That doesn't work for me. On Instagram, I've just started last year. So Instagram is like 6 months old for me. It's not a platform that I am comfortable yet, but I'm obsessed with it. And I'm working really, really hard at building my Instagram followers. I do believe that everybody's moving over to Instagram, so younger demographic, if that's your people. If it's older, then you might want to stay on Facebook still for a while and then cross promote that way. Related to the question above, my concern is that social media can be very time consuming. So what I do is I use a platform called later.com, and then you prepare your social media, and then you can post in many different places at the same time. So it posts for me on Facebook business page and on my Instagram as well. And then I have Zapier, which will be doing a zap from whatever I post on Facebook will be zapped directly on my LinkedIn. So I have my calendar in front of me. I know exactly what I'm going to be posting. I spend maybe an hour or 2 hours on planning my post. I plan all my stuff. I put them in my Later platform, and then they post exactly for me. And what I like about Later is that it's the cheapest one I find. It's not as expensive as Hootsuite or other platform. And it allows me, it gives me tag suggestions. So whatever I post, they will offer me, you should tag these things. And it also offers me for my demographic, it tells me who at what time I should be posting. So in pink, there are some areas on my calendar during the week that will be highlighted for when are the best times to post. So I will open up now to the more, if you had more questions that you added, and remember, we will be answering a lot of specific technical questions next week, and Thank You Self at Tech Pro, same time, if you want to join us then. So we'll open up to Beth, if you have more questions for me that you've collected from the chat.
All right, sounds good. I have a few other questions for you here. There's been lots of interest in everything you're sharing, Nathalie. In terms of developing your brand amongst millions of people out there posting on social media, how do you try to stand out?
How do you stand out in order? So first you want to have 4 different things. So you want to have a name. You could be your own name, or you can have the name of a company. So I choose to promote myself with the Thank You Self Academy. And then my brand is Thank You Self something. So today is Thank You Self a Business Pro, Thank You Self a Tech Pro, Thank You Self Thin, Thank You Self Healthy, Thank You Self Wealthy, coming out soon, and Successful Relationship Pro. You want to have a brand name and make sure that you use it consistently every time that you speak, and you are always on. So clean up your social media. And that night that you were kind of tipsy with your friends and you have this weird picture, if this is not the type of things that your followers or your potential buyers would like to see, delete that. You are always on. Even when I travel in an aircraft and I'm going to a speaking engagement, I used to just wear jeans and my favorite t-shirt. but you're always on. So make sure that you always, let's say you're sitting at a food court and you're eating a burger and fries, and you start chatting to the person beside you at the table, and then they say, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a personal trainer. And then they look at your plate and you're like, oh yeah, okay, you're always on. So if you are working in the fitness industry, or you say, oh, I'm a dietitian. Oh yeah, and you're eating burgers and fries right now? No way I would ever want to work with you. Thank you. So you're always on. So that's your brand. The second thing is you want to have a tagline. You want to have an elevator pitch, so a way to describe what you do, and you want to have a promise statements. So this is what I teach in Think Yourself a Business Pro, and there's a video on each and every one of them. So how do you develop your elevator pitch so that it's enticing and that people will want to work with you? So those are the 4 things that I would recommend. What's next?
Thank you. Okay, related to the marketing funnel, how quickly can you go from stage to stage in that marketing funnel?
I find that I have set up between 3 days, 7 days, and 14 days between my offers. When I start with a cold call, there's a software that I use for cold calling people that I've never ever met before. And then 3 days later, they would receive, if they have clicked, they will receive a second offer. It's still time 4. And if they have not clicked, they will receive the same email again. So for the same email to be received again, it's about 3 days. And if they have not clicked, but if they have clicked, then they will receive a second email to say, hey, it's still time to do that. And that's about 7 days. And then between one offer to the other, I do about 14 days. And then between bigger offers, it's usually a month.
Thank you. And someone had a follow-up question to what you were just saying, which is, what was that cold calling software that you're using to kind of stream those messages? Woodpecker?
Woodpecker, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question. In terms of doing webinars or those live speaking engagements online, as you mentioned, what platform do you recommend? Someone was asking, should they do Instagram Live, Facebook Live, or just stick to Zoom?
I like Zoom because I can control so many things, and then you'll see next week how we can do polls, we can do breakout rooms as well, which is super fun. So if you, let's say that we wanted to do a workshop, because I do lots of workshops in my speaking world. So where I would get, all the, like 4 or 5 people to chat at their table. Well, you can do breakout rooms with Zoom, which is great. You can do polls, you can do so many things. There's one platform that I can share. It's called StreamYard. I really love StreamYard because you can use your green screen and you can have a cool background to go live. Instead of just going live on Facebook, what you do is you use StreamYard, and then you can go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at the same time. So YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, which is great. So you just go live once and then you check these 3 and you're live everywhere at the same time, and you're at home in your own environment that you can put your background, and you can record it and download it onto your desktop, and then you can repurpose this video and repost it after. Much easier than if you're just on Facebook or just on LinkedIn or just on YouTube.
Fantastic. We have hit noon. We're beyond our time, Nathalie. Thank you so much. We have a lot of other questions to pose to you. So what I'm suggesting is that we save those questions for the technology webinar that you are going to do with CanFitPro members next Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So please, everyone, watch your email. On Monday, we'll have the invitation to register for that particular webinar. So you do have to register for the second installment of Nathalie's expertise coming to you next Thursday. Nathalie, the code to get the discounts on your website was CFP 75. So just
and if you remember, thinkyourself.com/canfitpro. Go there, and beside each course and each product, there's the code, how many CECs, how much it is, what's your discount, everything is written there. So thinkyourself.com/canfitpro. So go there, and then that's where you have all the codes, what to enter at checkout, how much is it gonna be. You've got all the details.
Thank you so much. And just a reminder, if you would like to earn a continuing education credit for your CanFit Pro certifications, you can do so. We will have this webinar and the quiz uploaded to the member portal after 8 p.m. tonight. And you'll be able to go to canfitpro.com, log into your member portal, click on Get Education. You'll see all of the CEC quizzes available there. It's $30 plus tax, and you earn one CEC if you successfully complete the quiz. All right, that's all I have. Natalie, is there anything you'd like to finish off with so we can call this event a wrap?
Absolutely. Just remember that you are very resourceful. You got this. Whatever situation is happening right now, you will figure it out. We got this. We're all in this together, and you are awesome.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for coming today.